Okay, this is our February office hour. Welcome everyone. As we normally do when we have our portfolio lead office hours, we're grounding this work in our educator priority. Today, I'm going to show you two reports that we're going to really focus on that are in Portfolio: the teacher report and the collection level progress report. I'm also going to talk to you about peer reviewer applications. We'll go over your next steps for this month and the support that we can provide. So let's start with your reports. I know you have all been working in your teacher report to verify your rosters, and I thank you for that. Today, we're going to look at a different column in the reporting report. So you'll go to your reporting tab, click on teachers, and in this report, I really want you to focus on, do your teachers have their model selected? There is a portfolio completed column that most likely in February teachers don't have their portfolios completed yet, but I want you to know where that is located so you can begin monitoring that over the next few months. And then what's most critical right now is that the activated column has a 1. Before you start monitoring this report, be sure that you have filtered your report and that you have went to the was access removed column and filter to 0. 0 means those teachers have not been removed. Any teacher that was on your original roster that you have removed for any reason will have a 1 in the was access removed column, and you do not want to look at that data. So in this report, and I have blacked out the names of the districts and the teachers and the TLNs, but I want us to focus on these columns. First, when I look at this district, I can see that only 4 teachers have begun setting their portfolio model. I can see that they've most all activated. That means they have logged into this account before. There are 3 that have not logged in. At this point, I want to talk to these 3 to find out if they're having a problem logging in. Maybe there's something wrong with the way that I rostered them. Maybe they've never tried or can't get in. So these are the red flags first, the people who haven't activated. But then I want to look at all of these who are in the platform but have not begun their models. Everyone should set their model, set their 4 collections, and in February, everyone should have already assessed their 4 standards. They should know what 4 standards they are doing, a point A and a point B. They should be beginning to collect their point Bs. So the model should be set, collections should be set, as well as standards. If you'll notice in column M, no one in this district has completed, and that is not an issue in February. You want to start seeing 1s here. When it's a 1, that means they completed it. You want that to start happening. I would start monitoring that in April. The due date for the final day for portfolios to be submitted is May the 6th at 5 p.m. Also notice here's the column was access removed. I am only looking at my teachers who have not been removed. So I've filtered to just the 0s. So this is one thing you need to check now in February. The second thing you can be checking is click on the reporting tab, go to collection level progress. This report will show you, first I want you to note, if your teachers that have not activated their account, have not selected their model and their 4 collections, they're not going to show up on this report. So you want to first make sure in the teacher roster report that everyone has activated, selected a model, and then when you go to this report, you'll know, have they set their collections? Once you look at this report, the teachers you're looking at, you can see their model, their domain, you can see the 4 collections they chose, you can see the scoring rubric, and the scoring rubric is the same as the standard. That is the standard your teachers picked. So if you want to monitor what standards are your teachers assessing in the portfolio, Look at that column. And then you can see what percent of the collection is complete. You want to monitor this as well over the next few months. So when you look at this report, again, notice only my teachers that have activated and set their models are going to be in this report. Here you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teachers. Teacher A has 4 collections, first grade model, 2 math, 2 ELA. I can see the collection she chose. Over here in scoring rubric, I can see at this point in time, she has only selected her reading standards. I may want to touch base with this teacher to see what's going on with the math standards. Again, every teacher should know what standard they are assessing at this point in the school year. This teacher B, my second grade teacher, she has 2 math, 2 ELA. I can see the collections have been chosen, but none of her standards have been picked. So just want to check on her, make sure she knows how to pick the standards. And some teachers may be waiting for that click when they upload work. But if you want to monitor their standards, know what they're assessing, and again, just check on them if this is blank. For this first grade teacher, same thing. I can tell they have 4 collections and no standards picked. Here's a pre-K teacher. She has her 4 standards and all of her collections picked, so that's great. I want to check on teacher E. She has not selected any standards. Another thing I want to make note of, if you see a teacher, for example, if this teacher A had more than 4 collections, and this happens sometimes, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes teachers will go in and they will keep selecting collections, and you may see more than 4. If you see anyone with more than 4 collections, I need you to notify us at Portfolio Questions so we can get those out. A complete portfolio only has 4 collections. If they have more than 4, it's going to show that they're incomplete, even if they finished 4. If we had some teachers who had chosen their collections twice, and so it looked like they were incomplete because the entire model was not finished. So you want to make sure everyone only has 4. And now is the time to take care of all of that before submission deadline. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the peer reviewer. Peer review time is coming up. May 6th will be here before we know it, when portfolios are submitted and finished. We will begin hiring our peer reviewers. These are our teachers who come from all across the state, and they review the collections and they score our collections. And they are hired by us through an application process. So when you are talking to your teachers, if they meet these requirements, please encourage them to apply. They must be a teacher of one of these models that they are applying for, or have some experience teaching. Sometimes we have had some of you district portfolio leads who have taught that grade or taught that content, have that experience and have been effective, that they are have a rich understanding of these standards. We want people scoring that understand their standards, that understand their rubrics, how to score student work using the rubric, that are very comfortable using their computers. Peer review happens in the platform, just like the submission goes in the platform. So if you have teachers who struggle using their technology, this would be a red flag. I would not encourage people who struggle with their technology to apply. If they're confident, if they show confidence in the portfolio and they believe in this process, then we want them to apply. But most, I would say, not most important, but most critical is that they are available May 28th through June the 14th. Some teachers want to apply, but if they're on vacation during these days and cannot work, it's important that they don't apply and take that spot. We only hire a certain number of peer reviewers every year. Finally, people that can commit to confidentiality and not talk about other teachers and the work that they have seen as they score. We are going to hire, like I said, through the application process. I found out this morning that the application will be released next week. You will be able to find that application link on the team website. It will be under recently released. When we post this PowerPoint, I will put the link here for you in this PowerPoint. Once they're hired, we will do a virtual training for all of our peer reviewers. It happens based on their content each day during the week of May the 13th. So each day we will do a different training, like I said, based on whatever their model is that they were hired to score. Peer reviewers will be paid $20 for every collection that they score during that time period. All applications to be a peer reviewer will be due by March the 29th. So please start talking to your teachers about this opportunity. It is a wonderful opportunity. The feedback we have received from the past few years from peer reviewers has been all positive, and they take back such knowledge to their districts and to their teachers after they have been peer reviewers. Once we have hired all of the peer reviewers, we will notify you by email so you know who the teachers in your district are that were hired. So your next steps, be sure to log into Portfolium, make sure you're in your district administrator role. I do want to point out, I've had several questions come through, portfolio questions, about district administrators also having the teacher role. I want to remind you, when we load you in the platform as a district administrator, we also give you that teacher role, and that role was simply for you to be able to go in and see the teacher side of the platform. You will all lose that teacher role in April unless you are an active teacher in that model with a teacher license number and you have notified us that not to take away your teacher role. After you've logged in and you're in your district administrator role, go to the reporting tab, download your teacher roster report, and download your collection level progress report. Check your teacher's account, see if they've activated, check that they've selected their models, check that they have 4 collections, and look at their domains. Is it correct? If they're departmentalized, they should have, let's say, for example, you have a departmentalized kindergarten reading teacher. She should have 4 reading collections. If you have a regular kindergarten class, they should have 2 ELA, 2 math domains. So you're looking at that, and then look at that scoring rubric column to see what standards your teachers have chosen and to make sure that they are choosing their standards so that they're ready to get started and to submit by the deadline. Be on the lookout next week for the application link, and then share that link with your teachers and encourage them to apply to be a peer reviewer. Just a reminder, if you have not verified your roster, please be sure that you have logged in to the platform and you have checked your user directory. Tomorrow is the deadline for us to add anyone that may have been left off your user directory this year, so check those. If there's anyone who's on your user directory that should not be there, let us know. This template is due by tomorrow. If you can tell already that everything is correct, all of your teachers are in the platform and they're all able to log in, then go ahead and submit your roster verification form. That is due Friday, February the 9th. Next month, March the 14th, we will meet again and we will look at how to monitor their submission status and to check for completions. And then, as always, any questions you have, please reach out to us at portfolio.questions@tn.gov, and we are happy to help you and answer your questions.
Tracy, you may want to stay on your PowerPoint. Sorry,
Okay.
I know you just exited out. But
let me make sure I can go
Brooke
back in, Micah.
Yeah, Brooke Shipley has a question about the reports and
Okay.
which report to see the standards that they've chosen.
Okay. Let me go back to share and I'll show you that, Brooke.
My collection I thought you said collection progress. It
Yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
show the standard for us. It
So
just shows.
look right here. When you're in this collection level progress,
Mm-hmm.
do you see this column? It's my column M. It says scoring rubric.
Yes.
That's the standard they picked.
Well, mine doesn't stay a standard. It says the year there.
Megan, expand the column. It should have the standard right after the year.
Okay.
It may just be
Yeah.
hidden.
I had to pull it all the way this way. Do you see it now?
I do. I'm sorry. I do.
No, it's fine. That's a good point, Micah. All of these columns were tight. I had to pull them, just hover over it and pull it to the right and to spread it out and see.
So is that something they need to do? Is just because they have all done their collection, they have to do the standard also?
Well, here's the thing. If, for example, if you talk to your teachers, if I were to talk to teacher B and she said, I do know my standards that I'm assessing, I just haven't clicked that rubric yet to upload the work, that's fine. Just as long as you know and they know and you're monitoring, I would just want to make sure that the reason they haven't selected is not because they don't know what standard. They should all know what standard they assessed. And again, I can tell from this district that the pre-K teacher has gone ahead and selected the standard. Several have not. It doesn't mean that they don't know, but it would cause me to check on them. Does that make sense?
It does.
I would hate what we want to get in front of is for teachers at submission deadline to say, one, I didn't know I was a portfolio teacher, or I haven't assessed point A and point B. I don't know, I can't get in. It's that kind of thing. So if you're checking these reports, you can see these teachers, for example, teacher D seems to be fine. I wouldn't have to worry about her. All of these teachers have gotten in and gotten started. My biggest fear would be the teachers that I don't see here. And then again, if they haven't picked the standard, just check on them and ask, do you have your standards? Do you know? Every now and then, and I've had some fine arts teachers say, I'm debating between two. They actually have a point A and a point B for two standards, and they haven't put it in because they're waiting to see which one. But after having that conversation, then you would know it's not because they haven't assessed a point A and they're not planning their point B. It's just they haven't decided when they're trying to go back and forth between two.
Okay, so my next question is also in the chat, but can I go ahead since
Sure,
you're
go
on
ahead.
me? Is that okay? Okay, so when I tried to remove somebody because they left the district, I have two people that have it. That's not a choice on the drop down. So if they're marked PYE, I don't have to worry about them, right?
What you need to do, Brooke, is last month in the
I missed it. Okay.
It's okay. Last month I gave you the link, but this morning I sent an email reminder. So there's a link called Add Remove Template.
Mm-hmm.
Send portfolio questions, that template, and tell us the teachers. It'll show you how to fill it out on last month's PowerPoint. Tell us the teachers that are gone. And the reason, it'll be a drop down, click remove, so we know to take them out. And the reason is PYE. As long as they're PYE and T Encompass, we can pull them out of portfolio.
Okay, it doesn't have that as a choice as PYE. It says
the very top. Scroll up.
Very top. Okay.
At the very top of that drop down, I think it's the first one. I had the same. Yeah, it just takes, when I opened it, downloaded it, and click on the drop down, just make sure you scroll up. It's the first choice.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Great question.
Karina,
and once we take them out, Brooke, then you can submit your verification that everybody's right.
Okay. I'll do
Karina
it right
Kirk,
after we get
did you have a question, or did you just put your name in for us to know who you were?
I was just signing in. I forgot to do it at the beginning.
We don't have any other questions in the chat. If you have a question, feel free to come off of mute or you can drop it in the chat.
I have a question. Okay,
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
gonna try to turn my camera on. Okay, so I had a teacher that left in November, and she just left the district, but she didn't want to mark PYE. She was wanting to, and I don't handle this part, so I'm not sure exactly what goes on here. Just in case she decided to come back, she was still wanting that option. So she wanted to go ahead and do her her evaluation, get her
Yeah,
evaluation,
that's
and take the schools, or I guess the school score. Is that an option?
no, ma'am. If she has left your district, resigned from your district, is not getting paid, you've
No,
hired
she left
somebody
for
else.
Thanksgiving.
Somebody else has been hired to teach that class.
Yes.
She is PYE, whether she wants to be or not. She is no longer, and your evaluation configurator can mark that. But if she is not an active teacher in your district, then she needs to be marked. She does not get a score from your district if she doesn't teach there. And even if she came back, if she's been gone since November, even if she came back, she has been gone too long to be a full-time teacher this year. So I would
Okay.
just work with your district superintendent, evaluation configurators. Teachers don't get to make that choice, especially if they resign or they have been let go. They're not active in your district, and she would not receive a school score. She should not receive an LOE if she has been gone.
Okay. So I will go ahead and mark her as PYE.
Yes.
And then the teacher that took her place, she chose PYE.
Yes. If she got hired in November, it's like I said, it's just
She
that's what she
started
is.
after Thanksgiving.
Yes. Then she hasn't been able to teach for a full year, 120 days. So that's automatically what happens for any teacher that's hired late. They should be PYE and they should not receive an LOE.
So there's no reason to add her.
No, ma'am.
So I just need to remove the one that was there.
That's gone. Yes, ma'am. Great
Okay.
question. Great question.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions?
Hey, Miss Tracy, it's Xavier in Bedford County. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Hey, on my teacher roster report,
Uh-huh.
my last teacher on the report, she's kindergarten, but when I go to her thing, is kindergarten's listed like 1,000 times.
Okay.
So I don't know why that is. Everybody else is listed once, but kindergarten, when I go to that, it's like kindergarten
What's
listed.
that? I'm gonna I don't want you to we don't like to say people's
Yeah.
name, especially
Well, it's
since
the
we're
last. That's why I said it's the last one on the teacher report.
okay. Then I'm just
Teacher
gonna
roster
You can always
report.
email portfolio questions
Yeah.
with the name and let
Okay.
us know, and we can take off those extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I will do
my
that.
my thinking is that she has logged in way too many times, and I
Okay.
don't. That has been something that baffles me. I don't know how teachers are doing it, but every great big while, I
That
see
happens.
that. Are you saying it's the last person on your user directory?
Yes, ma'am. And I just ran across one. Yes. Sorry for the other thing I just said. Yeah, she's the last one on the report.
I see that she only has 4. So the one I'm looking at only has 4. So send me her name. You can email
Okay.
it to me or portfolio questions and I'll check her. If she has more than 4, now I will say if you're in your report, are you in the collection level?
No, ma'am. I'm in the teacher roster report.
Okay. Remember what I said about filter to the zeros.
Well, this was a teacher who had if she's on there twice, but one is she's not activated. and the other one she is activated. And the one that's not activated, that one's fine. I mean, but the one that she is activated, that one that indicates kindergarten a billion times.
Okay, we've already fixed her. So the number 1 in that column was access removed. That number 1 means that's the account we took out.
Okay.
0 in the column was access removed means we did not take them out. That's the active account. But send me her name to make sure we're looking at the same person.
Okay, I will. I sure will.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. That was access removed does trip people up. So just make sure when you're in the teacher roster report, we've had several people trying to, when they're verifying their rosters, they see the teacher once or twice. We've had people say the emails are wrong. If you look over to the very end, was access removed, that if that column has a 1, that means yes, we took that account out. So if there's a 1 in that on that row, those people that account is gone. So when you go to collection level progress reports, you're only going to see active accounts. And when you're on your teacher page, so I'm going to share my screen one more time to make sure you all see. When you're on this page, if you click on this word user directory, that's where you'll see only your active teachers. And you can see what email is active on this tab, user directory. The user directory report shows everything that we've done this year. These are great questions. Anything else? Well, if not, I will not hold you to this whole hour. We will get this PowerPoint as well as the recording up on the team website. We will wait until the first of next week because I do want to get the peer reviewer application link in this PDF as well as on the homepage. So hopefully by Monday, end of day Monday, we'll have all of this live for you on the team website. If you do have questions after this meeting, don't hesitate to email us and we will work with you to help you. Our goal is the same as yours, is to make sure all of your portfolio teachers can get in the platform, can submit their work, and can receive a growth score. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.